6 First Alert Weather with meteorologist Cameron Shin.
Good morning. When it comes to the rest of your Friday, we're expecting snow, and it is a first alert weather day due to the snow across the western counties. They could see a little bit more than usual, but it's mostly going to be towards the evening is when the heaviest bands move in. And when it does move in, it could range from moderate to heavy snow bands. Towards the end of this setup, we could see over 3 to even up to 10 inches in some areas. Mostly the highlands will see the highest amounts and impact. We could see potential whiteouts, snow drifts, and difficult traveling conditions because of this setup. Current alerts are across the Upper Peninsula. We have some winter weather advisories in our eastern and northern counties. Winter storm warnings in effect for Gogebic all the way up to northern Hudson, set to expire currently at 1 p.m. Eastern time, so it's going to be noon central for those in those areas. When it comes to what we're seeing right now, not a whole lot. So even when these winter storm warnings go into effect later this morning, it may not be actively snowing, and we're going to keep our eyes on this setup going into the afternoon. Hazards trending towards the moderate ends when it comes to, say, winds, snowfall, and we could see the heaviest bursts mostly in the western counties overnight and into Saturday morning, though the cooler air set to make itself known towards the latter half of this weekend. But before we get to that, future snowfall amounts definitely looks to be highest in portions of western Ontonagon into northern Gogebic, getting up to 8 to 10 inches, a little bit more in some isolated areas, but for the rest of the Upper Peninsula, set to see at least 3 to 6, and it could be a hair more in portions of Baraga and in the eastern counties like Schoolcraft. For the rest of the afternoon into the evening, tracking what you can expect. We'll see the snow in the central and eastern counties later this morning. Starts picking up in the western counties very slowly, but once we get into the afternoon, still heaviest in the eastern counties, but picks up more in the west. And later going into the overnight hours, so Friday nights into Saturday morning, this is when the heavier bands of snow arrive in the west. And it looks to remain that way for portions of Saturday morning, but starts tapering towards the afternoon, but still lingers in the central counties, and we'll see a little bit less snow for Saturday evening, but we could still see some light lake effect snow. When it comes to what's after this is going to be the scattered snow for Saturday. And this is going to be the last mild day we have, because once we get into Sunday, this Arctic air starts settling in and cools us down even further going into Monday and into Tuesday. Those days specifically are going to be very cold, because when this system moves in, when we have this snow moving in, it's actually going to bring down a chunk of cold air from northern Canada and into the Upper Peninsula by the start of your work week. This giant ridge just kind of pushes the jet stream down, allowing this colder air to move in. Tracking what you can expect, we'll see temperatures in the singles going into Sunday afternoon. Some teens in the central and eastern counties, but that cold air really makes itself known by the time we get to Monday morning with singles, some negatives in the western counties, and temperatures actively decreasing throughout Monday afternoon. And that trend continues into your Tuesday, as some areas in the western counties could see highs in the negatives. And we're looking at singles for the rest of the work week, but we're looking at teens to arrive by Thursday, but we could see a little bit more snow between Monday and Tuesday. John?